as like the old people that don't know what's on there.
All right, here we go. Ready? All right, so good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Building Charleston podcast, the podcast where we take a moment each week to meet the leaders who are shaping the Charleston area. My name is Matt Chapdelaine. I'm the host of Building Charleston and the broker in charge at Lane Commercial Real Estate, the Lowcountry's premier commercial real estate office in the Lowcountry. We're recording this podcast on Friday, December 13th, lucky number, from the offices of Lane Commercial Real Estate and now the studios of Building Charleston. Before we get started, great news for everyone who's listening. The Building Charleston podcast is now on YouTube and Instagram, so if you want to see the face behind the name, you know where to go. We'll put the links to where to go. It's at Building Charleston SC for both YouTube and Instagram. Today's topic is one that's always fascinated me. How do you make money on Instagram? I post things, and no one really seems to send me money. At the same time, if you're like me and you hear how one person or the other has posted things on Instagram and they make money, you're probably thinking, what is this all about? How the heck does it work? Today's guest is building a strong body as well as a strong brand. Sarah Pledger is our guest today. Sarah, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks so much for having me. It's an honor. Apparently some of my clients know you already.
It's a big deal being a big deal down here in Charleston, and I'm slowly getting accustomed to it. So thank you for that. For the people who are listening and tuning in on our new media platforms, if you would mind tell us a little bit about yourself and
Sure.
who you are.
So my name is Sarah Pledger, or Sarah Pledger Brooks. Technically, I am married. Sorry, everybody. I'm a trainer, dietitian, lifelong learner, lifelong athlete, and I think that I've accidentally become an Instagram influencer, which has been really fun and great.
I'm an accidental podcaster, so
Right.
I know the feeling. First off, tell us a little bit about how you got to Charleston.
Sure. So my husband started his neurology residency here at MUSC.
Mm-hmm.
So I packed up my Nissan Sentra that was on its final legs of breaking down and put whatever I could in and drove here.
Okay.
Then almost immediately got a new car.
Okay. So it was your spouse who had a job here. You're originally from where?
So I'm from Texas.
Okay.
I grew up in Sugarland, and now my parents live on our ranch. We come from ranchers.
Okay. All right.
In Mason, Texas.
Now in the big city of Charleston. So one of the things that drew me to your story was how you make money off of Instagram. Tell us a little bit about your Lowcountry business and kind of your forays into into Instagram.
So somehow I've blown up from 10,000 to 20,000 followers in a little over a year.
Wow.
And so then I started getting people wanting to send me free stuff around like 10,000, 11,000, and then people started offering me free stuff and money at around 13,000.
Okay. So is that a commonly known threshold of like, hey, once you get to 10,000, you're kind of...
It is, and
okay.
I'll tell you why. So once you get to 10,000, they've rolled out this feature where you can link on your stories directly to websites anywhere you want to.
Okay.
On the internet. So theoretically, you can link back to their product, and they can give you your own link so they know it came from you.
Gotcha. So they can track how much influence you're having.
How
okay.
influential you are.
Is there another level after like 10,000, like where you start getting other perks?
Yes.
Okay.
So I only know this because I comment back and forth with fellow influencers that I've never met, and many of them don't even live in the U.S. But it's actually a common practice, and it's kind of a way to beat Instagram's algorithm. Is you comment on people who are really good at commenting back, and it's sort of just unspoken.
Okay.
Because once you get about 30, 40, 50 comments, they really boost your post.
Interesting.
And you get more clicks, more insights, more comments, and they can track all of that, and it all goes into the algorithm and says this is important to people, so we're going to show it to a high percentage.
Okay. Now, being an Instagram influencer, is that something that was kind of an accidental success, or did you go into this saying, hey, this is something I actually want to do and make money at?
So I wanted to inspire people to be fit and get off their butts and do the right thing, eat real foods, just to be happy in general. like my mom was diagnosed with diabetes when I was younger. So I started really taking nutrition and fitness seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized that 2/3 of the population is overweight, over 1/3 is obese. And so I'm like, all right, this is my battle. Like, how do I get it to be fun? Is really what it is.
How it started. So where's the breakdown of? So you've been doing this for about a year, but it sounds like your brand has been beyond that. How long have you been building your brand?
Right. So I've been on Instagram for about 6 years.
Okay.
And I just made these garbage, horrible, workout videos that no one watched.
Mm-hmm.
But over time, I got better at them.
Yeah.
And couldn't speak to the camera. Was super awkward.
Was there like a hack or a trick that like kind of that you went from not being so good to being good? Was it hiring third-party services or just kind of like practice makes perfect?
Practice makes perfect.
Okay.
Just go out there and suck for a while.
Okay.
And keep sucking.
Embrace the suck, kind of like a workout.
Yes, embrace
kind of like a workout. Yeah.
The only way you get better is just through doing it. You can look at other people's videos and try to mimic it,
Mm-hmm.
And that can speed up your progress a little bit. But I think it's just a lot of stage fright and people not being able to be themselves,
Mm-hmm.
which people want to do business with, and they want to be a part of people that are like them, that they feel connected to. And so if you're able to just be yourself and not be a total nervous wreck, like, people will like you, and they'll smile when they see your posts, and they'll keep checking out your posts.
Okay. Do I look nervous right
Not
now?
at all.
No.
No.
Would you do business with me?
100%.
Okay. Good.
Sell me a building.
Sell you a building? All right. How much time do you got? This is a 20-minute show. How much time do you spend on your social media in a given week?
My husband would argue too much.
Sure. As I would with my wife. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say an average of about 2 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
About 2 hours a day.
Okay.
Which is kind of a lot.
Yeah, when you think about it, but but kind of like this show, you don't just show up and just just rattle off. It takes a little bit of time. You gotta prep for it. So you think 2 hours a day is probably
I think 2
fair?
hours a day is correct. It's lower on the weekends because that's when the man is off work.
Okay, and you go out and have fun.
Right, and it's higher.
Good. We'll dive into the fun questions, later on here. So if you could give us an example of the time you got paid to promote a product.
Sure. So my favorite was Rain Energy Drink.
Rain, I want my 10%.
Exactly. So yeah, I actually really like that brand, and they had branched chain amino acids. Anyway, sorry, this isn't a sales to them. But I actually really like the brand, and I'd already tried it before, so I was really excited about it. And my husband is also an energy drinkaholic,
mm-hmm.
and so that was nice. We're gonna save money on that
Yep.
right there. So yeah, they just reached out to me and they said, hey, here's this campaign. They sent me a link to apply. So they always have you apply because they work along with whoever's in charge of that brand to pick out who their influences are.
Okay.
So they cherry pick them.
Okay.
So they can see your followers, your net likes, comments, your reach of your latest post. They can see
what's
everything you've posted and
Yeah.
say, hey, this matches with the brand or this doesn't.
So is that typically how it works? And did they reach out to
Yes.
you, or is there a platform or there capabilities for you to reach out to them?
So there's both. The smaller brands work through sort of recruiters that go on Instagram and message people individually. So I've done like a Calm with Kava campaign and like a Wad Fitters Bands campaign
Mm-hmm.
with a smaller group. And they do it by reach, as opposed to Rain Energy Drink, which they work with this group, Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And so Obviously has several different products, and they're pretty big in the industry. So you can actually apply
Okay.
and say, I want to be an influencer on here. And so if you have a following on YouTube, Twitter, or Instagram, put that all in. Or if you have a blog, and they can check all the stats there.
Okay.
Because they have all sorts of different stuff. Like they're rolling out like a Tinder U campaign. So like if you're a school student and if you like dating, then you could be part of that campaign.
Okay.
I'm disqualified.
So obviously you're taken.
That's right.
So I guess at the beginning, I post and nobody gets, nobody pays me.
Right.
If I'm listening to this podcast or I'm watching it on YouTube or Instagram, what are the hacks? Like, what are the? Is it important to just be passionate about it, or are there certain industries like mom blogs or athletics that can improve your odds?
Right. So I would say that certainly being fit or fit interested is very big on Instagram. You don't have to be just a fitness brand to still, they want to see that you're taking care of yourself. Like, they want you to be leaders and they want you to be confident, and people just naturally, tend towards someone who's taking care of themselves and passionate about their health. Also, you need to take pictures well. It's Instagram. It started off as just pictures.
Yep.
And so
it helps to be good with pictures.
It helps you have to be good at pictures.
Okay.
And so now it's moving more towards video, carousel, stories, and Instagram TV. So now not only do you have to be, kind of fit and a model, but you also got to be smooth with your video. So it's upping the ante constantly.
You got to be good. Okay, that's like any industry, you got to be good.
It's true, but what I will tell you, an up and coming. So whenever you hop on a social media first and it takes off, like if you're there first, you're gonna get a big chunk of people, even if you're no good yet.
First mover advantage.
Right.
Yeah.
So TikTok is blowing up right now, and I'm not even on there, and I wrote a note, look into TikTok. Because apparently that, I forget who just bought it out. There's a big group that just bought it out, and it's about to blow up. So I follow some podcasts.
Okay.
I like podcasts.
Okay.
And so Chalene Johnson has a really great social media podcast. She has the Guinness Book World Record for most workout videos sold.
Wow. She must be in shape.
Oh, for sure. But I started following her because of that, and then she started trending into taking her business completely online and helping other people build their own brands and businesses online.
Interesting. So I've read some stats on how big the Instagram influencer industry is. What's your take? How big is it? How fast is it growing?
So I know that it's over $1 billion right now, and it's estimated to double in about every 2 years at this rate.
Okay.
So about $2 billion, and probably beyond that, 2022. I have a friend who's a teacher and says that many of her students, they want to be influencers.
Okay.
They ask them what they want to be. They're like, I want to be an influencer.
The times change. I have a 5 and a 3-year-old. I can only imagine what they'll be, what their careers will be.
I want to be a TikToker.
It hasn't even been invented yet. By the time they get there, it'll be something well beyond that, I'm sure. So, one of the questions I wanted to ask, and you've kind of already alluded to it, but other platforms besides Instagram where there's an opportunity to make money or be an influencer, it sounds like TikTok. You have your own podcast. Is there anything else that you think is worth paying attention to, or?
So I think, I think YouTube and long form educational entertainment is up and coming, kind of on a different spectrum. It's where you can go deeper. Like, people are starting to want to be able to listen to long form informational stuff and actually learn during their sort of dead time in a commute, or for me, like on long runs. So I think that both of those, like TikTok is going to be like fun, dancey stuff. It's just going to be like humor. And then you have your long form that's taking off, but that's more YouTube podcasts. Okay.
So, one of the things we talked about was, some of the unique opportunities that can come your way. It's not just about money. It's not just about products, but you told me about, someone reached out to you about being an American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
Tell us about that experience.
So, I just don't really believe this is my real life. It's great. So I was about to hop a plane to go back to the ranch in Texas and hang out with my family. And one of the recruiters from American Ninja Warrior found my Instagram and said, hey, can you apply to this show? Like, we think you'd be an excellent candidate. And so apparently recruiters pick some candidates and they lobby them to be on the show. So I got handpicked by this lady named Samantha.
Interesting.
Hi, Samantha. as well as, so I got synced up with Oblique magazine in town locally, And I've met a ton of great businesses, and I get a bunch of cool kickbacks from that. But really, it's because I have a big Instagram influence.
Yep.
So it's understood. I tag them when I go there, and I get a cool spray beat tan. So
we all have our different wants in the world.
Right. In the winter, it's hard to stay tan.
It's one of my biggest challenges right now. Yeah.
Hi, Veggie Tan.
Keep plugging. So social media and Instagram isn't like your only business. You also are a trainer, correct?
Correct.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. So yes, I'm an in-person personal trainer. My favorite clientele is actually like the moms of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I like people about 50 to about 75. I don't know why. It's my favorite. It's my sweet spot.
Excellent.
Like, they're awesome, and they always bring you compliments and like cookies and treats.
Not good for the diet.
I know.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, cheat day, right? We all got them.
I can just feed them to my husband.
So, all right. So, a couple of fun questions. This is more about Charleston. What's the best part about working in Charleston?
Awesome. So I would say the best part about working in Charleston is, so everyone is amazing, and I would say the competition here is pretty high, especially with fitness. There's like a ton of fitness professionals and people that are amazing at their job. But there hasn't been a single person that hasn't like told me, why they're successful. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's like hiding their secrets. They're like, oh yeah, I've been doing this. It's worked so great. Should try, doing this to the music, maybe synchronize some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so there's a lot of competition, but it's amazing how open people are. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. It's something, again, it's hard to put it in words, hard to kind of regurgitate.
I guess it's maybe like a southern like charm openness.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're amazing at their job, and it's like, okay, like I'm a little intimidated, like you're awesome, but
yeah,
everyone shares.
It's kind of the nature of Charleston. A lot of people have had kind of their own unique experience that have brought them to the Low Country.
Yeah.
And with that comes a confidence because they obviously made it here, but also kind of a chill, relax because hey, I made it here, and the quality of life is pretty darn good. So another fun question, real easy one. What do you do for fun when you're not when you're not working? What do you and your husband go out and do?
Yeah. So I think downtown for sure. Like, we love all the historic buildings. So he's really big into the Revolutionary
war stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we like going past the buildings and checking out all like the museums and the old market and all that. As well as I really like whiskey neat. So we sometimes do some taste tours and stuff like that.
Very cool.
Work hard, play hard.
That's
gotta have some balance.
If I had known that, we would have had a little glass waiting for you at the end of this podcast. But if only I knew. All right.
Tom, drive me home.
Well, when I get to my pro tip for this show, we'll see if we can work that in somehow. So final question. This is where I wrap it up. Start wrapping it up. A question I ask of everybody before they or when they do come on the show is, what's your vision for Charleston? You're building a brand. You're building strong bodies. You're building a legacy here. So what's your vision for Charleston?
I would like to see Charleston be the healthiest, fittest, happiest community in the world.
Okay, and you're taking the steps to make that happen?
Yes, I would say, I feel like we already have good work-life balance here. Like, it's better than anywhere else I've ever lived. Like, I lived in Atlanta for a little while, not balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Most places in Texas, like, not balanced. A lot of people work more and they don't have time to relax. People take time to relax and enjoy themselves here already. So, I think we just need to help people find their like soulmate workouts, like what they love doing. You know what I mean?
I know what you're
saying. It could be yoga.
Yeah. Well, another thing I do at this time is I bring in our sponsor, and in an effort to make this the healthiest and the happiest place in the country, I've got a bag of popcorn for you. This is
Amazing.
from Carmen Moody. It's healthy. It tastes fantastic. It should give you a lot of energy and hopefully bring a smile to your face, which hopefully aligns with your vision for the future of Charleston. So I hope you enjoy it, and to the people out there listening and now watching her eat it, it's delicious. You can get it at Boone Hall Farms. You get a couple other different places. So I would encourage you to go out there, grab a bag. She's at.
I'm a dietitian.
She's a dietitian. It is approved. So guaranteed to make you big and strong and happy. So with that, this is typically where I do my pro tip. This week's is keep going and keep growing. This is going to be the last Building Charleston podcast for 2019. This year we recorded 23 episodes. That's more than 2 a month.
Wow.
Considering we only got started in March, so very proud of that. We've upgraded our sound and we're still kind of improving on that. We're now able to be watched, not just heard, so we're growing on that. We've learned that we need whiskey at the end of every episode, so
Would go well with this popcorn.
It would go well with the popcorn, as we'll find out later, I'm sure. In 2020, the Building Charleston podcast is going to keep growing. We couldn't do this without the support of Popcorn. Couldn't take these next steps without Tom Shakti here in our studio helping run the video. So we're very happy for him, and I think given our plans for 2020, it's going to be a really exciting year. What else? So everyone at Building Charleston is going to keep growing for 2020, and I hope everyone out there who's listening and watching also does the same. If you like this episode and you want to hear more, please like the podcast and subscribe. We publish, Building Charleston publishes every week, and we have more interviews coming up in the new year. Finally, if you're a business in the Low Country who's looking to expand, or you want to relocate your business, or if you're listening to the podcast or the show from somewhere outside Charleston and you're considering moving your business to the Low Country, give me a call. My contact information, as well as Sarah's and everyone else affiliated with the show, will be in the show notes for this podcast and this video. So with that, thank you one last time, Sarah, for being on the show. Thank you to the listeners for downloading and tuning in. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you, Tom. Go out there, everyone, make it a great year, make it a great day, and make it a great 2020.